Thank you so much for joining me for part 4 of Still Hoping. We're going through Lamentations 3 with Jeremiah, who in the first part, he went through a lot of the same things that we face on a daily basis. He was depressed. He felt like when he prayed, God wasn't listening. He felt like people didn't understand him and like he was alone. And he felt like he was actually even physically aged because he was so tired and so weary from everything he'd been through. And last time we left off in verses 31 and 32. And today we're going to go up to verse 36. But 31 says, "For the Lord will not cast off forever. But though he cause grief, yet will he have compassion according to the multitude of his mercies. For he doth not afflict willingly, nor grieve the children of men, to crush under his feet all the prisoners of the earth, to turn aside the right of a man before the face of the Most High, to subvert a man in his cause, the Lord approveth not." And I have to admit, there have been times in the past where I've actually asked my mom. I'd go to her and I'd be like, you know what, there's all these things happening in my life, and I feel like almost like the Lord wants me to stumble and fall because I feel like he's just waiting. And then when I stumble and fall, then he can come through and everything is all right. And I just felt like, I asked her, why does it feel that way? And the Lord always remind me would lead me to a verse. And of course, my mom would say, God doesn't want that to happen. And then, like I said, the Lord would lead me to a verse. And this is one of those, this segment here is one of those verses where the Lord is saying that, God doesn't afflict men or grieve them willingly. He doesn't want the bad things to happen in our life. Do you want bad things to happen to your children? No. But as with your child, sometimes you see them doing something that's not exactly a right thing, but you let it go because your child's going to learn from it and grow. And you know that you're going to be there to pick them up. You know you're going to be there to hold them, to help them through it. It says that to subvert a man in his cause, the Lord approveth not. The Lord does not approve of purposely trying to make a stumbling block for you. He doesn't want to have to crush you under his feet. He doesn't want to make sure that you have so many trials that you actually turn away from him. There's even a verse, I don't remember exactly where it is right now, where Israel was going through some trials, and the Lord said, I didn't want you to go through these trials so much that you turned away from me. I don't want you to go to the point where you're struggling for so long and with so much stuff that you actually lose all your hope. He is so full of, as it says in verse 32, he has a multitude of mercies. And as we looked at in one of our previous segments, that the reason we aren't consumed is because the Lord is faithful, and his mercies and his compassions, they're new every morning. The Lord doesn't want you to struggle for so long and for so hard that you don't have hope. And I know that I'll admit there have been times that I have struggled for so long and so hard that I don't feel hope within me. I don't feel like I can take another step. I don't feel like I can carry on. But you know what? That's when it comes to a choice. And making a choice is not always the easiest thing. Because honestly, it's so much easier to live with your struggles and your trials and your tribulation than it is to actually step up and make the choice to move forward and get out of them. And sometimes even your step might not actually take you out of that struggle right now, but it might not be for a lot longer, but sometimes it's hard just to take a step in general. And that's when you actually have the choice. You have the choice where, well, I know that I need to do this because it's one of those steps that's going to help me reach my goal of what I know the Lord's called me to do or what I know I need to accomplish here in my life. And I have either the choice over here that says, well, forget it. I give up. I don't want to have hope. I don't want to believe. I'm through. I'm just going to sit in my bed and do nothing and just give up on it and just forget about it. And you turn away. But then you have the other choice that says, you know what? I feel like taking that choice number one, and I want to do it so badly. But instead, I'm going to get up. I'm going to get out of bed. I'm going to clothe myself properly. I'm going to make sure that I'm ready to face the day, and I'm going to take the step and I'm going to do this thing. For me in my life, as an example, sometimes that's with writing. There are some mornings that I wake up and it's like, oh, I'm tired, I'm miserable, I'm in pain, I don't feel like doing anything. that's like, you know what, I'm going to make the choice today, because I know that God's called me to write and to do music and to put things out that hopefully and Lord willing will inspire and maybe encourage someone to take a step in their life, or maybe to face their day. And I'm just gonna do it. And I'll tell you, I don't feel like doing it. I don't want to do it, but I'll sit there and I'll just say, Lord, I need your strength. Help me to do this. And I'll tell you, there's times where, not even in just that situation, but even other choices that I'll make to do something, there's times that it's like, oh, I really didn't turn out so great. But more often than not, just the fact that you're doing something can sometimes encourage you to the point that you can take another step. And then, on the flip side, now I said that there were two choices, but then there's also a third option you can do. And this is when you know you've been going for a long time. And my sister actually reminded me of this the other week. I went to her and I'm like, oh, I'm just really tired. I'm just working on this, that, and the other thing, and I just feeling overwhelmed by it all. And she said, well, you know, maybe you need to take a rest. Maybe you just need to stop pushing and just take a rest. And I thought, you know, she's right. Sometimes when you have been faithful and you've been doing it and consistently doing it and you're starting to get weary, sometimes you need to take a break. And so I did. I had an opportunity where I had a day where I could just do nothing, and that day I did nothing. I stayed in my bed. I played my Facebook games. I watched my TV show. I did a little bit of laundry because I didn't want to get behind on it. And I made dinner because I love food, so, you know, I really wanted to have some dinner. So I made dinner, but besides that, you know, I didn't do anything. Now, I did eat breakfast and lunch, but it's not as big a deal as making dinner. And I rested, and it felt so good. I released all the pressures and the stresses that I was putting on myself, and I took a break. And this isn't the first time I've done it. Maybe one of these days I can share about the actual first time that the Lord really showed me that being still was important. And the Bible even says that, be still and know that I am God. Sometimes you do need to take a break, but make sure that you observe and say, you know what, do I need to take a break, or am I just trying to make a choice that I just don't want to do it because I just don't want to face it? And sometimes when you take that break and you can just focus on the Lord and just do nothing, then He can kind of help you feel refreshed and ready to take the next big step that's going to lead you towards, you know, a victory in your life, or a bigger victory. Because even sometimes taking a break in itself can be a victory, because you're realizing that you just can't keep going. You need to allow your body to recharge, allow your mind to rest, and allow yourself just to have good fellowship with the Lord and just, you know, take a chill pill, so to speak. Well, that's all I'm going to go into today. I will be recording the next part 5 in just a few minutes, but you probably won't see it for another week or so. But you have a very blessed day. Don't forget to check out A Song of Deliverance on Facebook, YouTube, and at my blog, so you can see what's coming out that's new, and so you can maybe be encouraged a little bit to continue forward in your walk with the Lord. God bless, and you have a great day.